welcome. First ever The Ball Boys that is live, which is always nice. I've been trying to sort this out for a while, but this is episode 5. So if you haven't seen the previous 4 episodes, head on over to my YouTube channel, obviously. Welcome back to my channel. Today is episode 5 of The Ball Boys. We'll be looking at games such as Leeds versus Aston Villa, Liverpool, Sheffield United, West Ham, Manchester City. At the moment, we don't have Alex with us, so it's just me and Adam. Alex will be joining a little bit later, so just stay tuned. He will eventually come. The
episode is already much better.
Oh yeah, 100%. But yeah, anyway, jumping straight in, we've got Leeds versus Aston Villa. Leeds winning 3-0. Let's not
Patrick Bamford.
Yeah, exactly. Patrick Bamford, absolute beast. Hat trick.
I thought it was going to be a flop this season, but
a lot of people did.
He scored.
A lot of people did because he wasn't great in the Championship last year. He was quite average. So he came into the Prem and everyone was thinking he's going to be worse than average, and he's actually been really good. He's been banging them in.
And he wasn't particularly good with Middlesbrough when they were in the Premier League either, was he?
No. But yeah, so pretty good result, especially considering Aston Villa were on a perfect streak before this game.
For the first half, it was a very close game, I felt. But once Bamford got those first 2 goals in, Leeds started pulling away with it. And the goal line clearance as well from Luke Ayling was absolutely wonderful.
Definitely.
He's proven his worth to the squad.
He definitely has, yeah.
He has been for quite a few years now, actually, for Leeds down in the Championship.
Mm-hmm. He was in my fantasy team at the beginning of the season. And then I took him out because, Leeds were defensively awful at the beginning of the season. But everything seems to be getting slightly better now. But anyway, Alex, we're currently talking about Leeds versus Aston Villa, if you've got any opinions.
No, I was very wrong about Patrick.
Yeah.
Us two were just saying the exact same thing.
We just said that.
And to be fair, Mings absolutely gifted one of the goals, man. Holy moly.
It's a shame because Mings has been so good for Villa.
I think you jinxed it, mate.
Probably have, yeah. Alex, before we continue, can we just appreciate the fact that Adam is not delayed to hell this week? It's crazy.
Yeah. I'm a part of this for once.
I'd like to think you were the audience member we had. Are we live now?
Yeah, we
Sky
are.
Wi-Fi.
Shout out to my mum.
So yeah, that propels Leeds to 6th in the table, and now Aston Villa are 3rd, just behind Liverpool by 1 point, but they still have a game in hand. So
if they keep banging on, they might get Europe. Who knows?
They might, yeah. This could be a really weird season that Villa, Leeds, and Everton all get European football.
This whole season.
Meanwhile, Manchester United.
Oi.
Relegation.
You leave the mighty Reds alone, okay?
Man City, with the way that they're playing, they might not even make Europe. Pep's that bad at the minute.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
Spurs might actually win the league. Like, what's going on?
Nah, that's nonsense.
They're in a much better position than City and Man United and Arsenal at the minute.
Spurs will clap, but they always do. They it's in their DNA.
They'll come 3rd in the 2 horse race.
But they do have Mourinho, so I think Mourinho will propel them into a Champions League place, at least.
They do have Jose, that is true. And then when it inevitably goes all wrong and, he doesn't get his Premier League victories, it'll be downhill like it was when he first started there.
Anyway, we'll get on Spurs later. Move on to the next game. We have West Ham versus Manchester City. That Antonio goal was beautiful.
Oh!
It was such a nice goal.
Really vital role, isn't he? Really vital role.
He's playing so well for West Ham. I mean, it's ridiculous how they brought in Sebastian Haller for 40 million to replace Antonio. And Antonio is just like, my place, pal. My place. Because Haller's done nothing.
I still think Haller would do better, but like I said, when he was at Frankfurt, he was better behind Djokovic, and he needs to work in a 2-man system. And Antonio's almost the opposite of that. He likes working in a 1-man system. So what do you do then? You have to
play the man informed.
You have to play the guy who's doing it at the end of the day. And Haller's unfortunately the one who has to be on the bench. I think we'll see him move this summer anyway. But Moyes isn't doing too bad this start of the season.
He's made a West Ham defence look good when they're barely above average.
I almost feel like we're seeing the Moyes of old when he was at Everton.
Yeah.
He always likes to find a player who's tall and can head the ball, and I think he's got that.
Yeah.
And fair play, man.
If I had to pick one team in the entire Premier League who have actually benefited of fans not being in the stadium, it would be West Ham, because at home, like their stadium, it's not a football stadium. The fans are nowhere near as close as they were in Upton Park to the field. And the fans just seem disconnected from the play. So the fact that everybody don't have fans and people can't have like the fans of like the 12th man, I think West Ham are the ones who have benefited from that, because it's not like a focal point of the way that they play.
Oh yeah, I'll never understand the idea of moving from Upton Park. I'll never get. I remember the last game. I'm pretty sure their last home game was against United.
It was
pretty sure.
Was it 3-3?
Yeah, I don't know if we beat him or not. I think we might have beat him.
I think it was a draw.
Google this if someone's doing this.
I'll Google it now.
Phil Foden is a good player.
He's going to be
3-2. West Ham beat United.
Oh, we lost. Can we go back to when I said it was a draw?
What a cracking game to finish at the Bowling.
They should still be there.
Their stadium.
However, Man City weren't on their day. They weren't like, they didn't have the day that they expected and what many people expected to do. But Phil Foden did come on and completely change the game.
Yeah, but I feel like that's your sentence, but you can apply it for most of Man City this season.
Yeah,
it's like, Man City didn't have that day, but okay, don't get me wrong, but neither has United, neither has Chelsea to an extent. But then there's teams like Bayern Munich and PSG. If we're going for complete that no one had a preseason, let's go international. PSG, Bayern Munich, so on and so on. They were Champions League football, and then the league was like the next day, and they had to get on with it. So I'm not really sure how many more excuses we can make for City at this point.
Yeah,
that's a tough one, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
I don't think pre-season is as bad. I think a rest is more needed. But like I said, what Klopp did with Liverpool was really, really smart. You secured the league, and then you just played a bunch of youngsters, and then you let your first team rest, because you knew everybody else was still battling for top four. United had to go all the way. I was a bit confused why Pep didn't do that.
Yeah, because he wasn't going to jump, but he wasn't going
to go down. He was pretty secure at second, and I don't know. I feel like it's really backfired on him.
Yeah, it really has. But the thing that I just can't get past is teams like Aston Villa and Everton also didn't have breaks, but their squad is so much more thin than the squad that Man City have, and yet they're not making any excuses. It seems to be the teams that have the more going their way that are making the excuse. It just doesn't make sense.
I'm just very impressed overall with.
Well, they don't have.
West Ham are
Man City don't have any leaders.
No, they don't. I think we mentioned that last episode as well, because they've lost people like Vincent Kompany and David Silva in the past a few years, and they haven't replaced them with anyone really. I mean, they've brought Ruben Diaz in, who was apparently a leader, but I don't think he speaks the language, so that doesn't really help.
I mean, to be fair, he's a beast at Benfica, but it's one of those things that he wasn't. My problem with City is, in all seriousness, it's not even just the list. It goes. It's obviously they spent a lot of money. We all know how much they spent this summer. Even in the coronavirus case, they still got 2 defenders that they clearly wanted. But I don't understand why they went for, when you got more money than sense. Yeah. I don't know why they went for Ake when it just baffles me. It just baffles me when they went for Ake.
It does, yeah. They bought 2 defenders for a combined total of 100 million, and they're only playing one of them.
And there's definitely another player for 100 million centre back I could think of going for.
Yeah.
Just doesn't make sense.
I said it a few episodes back as well. It just seems that there's a lot of managers who have like backup plans when things don't go according to plan, and all Pep has is money. There's no plan.
Yeah.
It's just money. He just throws money at
Yep.
issues and doesn't even fix the issue.
I tell you what I'm more confused about as well was I don't. Obviously, there's two different versions of City. One with De Bruyne and one without De Bruyne. I don't understand why they haven't gone for a De Bruyne backup. Van der Beek was in the market. Many other players. I mean, Thiago again was on the market. I know he really wanted Liverpool, but City were there for as well. But they didn't even bother looking for anyone to replace De Bruyne. And obviously, when De Bruyne is injured, which does happen quite a lot this seasons, they're always a different team.
They are, yeah.
Yeah. They lose that creativity.
It's a little bit like with us and Van Dijk. We lose that leader in defence. And there's not many things I can criticise Klopp for, but he's left our centre-backs scarce. There isn't many of them. And even now, we're having to use a CDM at centre-back because we've got 2 defenders out. We've only got 3 starting quality centre-backs in the club, Gomez, Van Dijk, and Matip, 2 of which are injured. We've only got Gomez. It just... it's weird because we have more rotation up front than we do at the back. And I think rotation at the back would make more sense. Because you can lose players up front, but you don't necessarily lose that the cutting edge. But if you lose players at the back when you need that harmony between the goalkeeper and the back 4, it's just a recipe for disaster. And we need to move on from a lot of the games. So we'll go Crystal Palace versus Fulham. Palace 2, Fulham 1.
I have to admit,
no win yet for Fulham.
Was it the first goal Palace scored?
Riedewald.
Riedewald or Zaha.
And then Zaha took the ball and he went on went on a really nice run. It was quite a decent save, but I think then it was I'm trying to remember this off memory. It was this someone just came in and smashed it. It was a very nice goal. Basically, what I'm trying to say is Fulham can't defend to save their lives.
They really can't. They really can't. They are a championship team at best, trying to make their way in the Prem, and it's just not. It isn't working.
But surely you got to look at Scott Parker at this point, man. How are people going to call for Pep Guardiola's head and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's head and Mikel Arteta's head, right? At least they're doing bits, man. This guy, he done well with Fulham, right? But he was in Fulham with the Premier League. He knew what the Premier League was about. Went down to the Championship. Got them back up, and rather than going, okay, I've been in the Premier League before, I know exactly what I'm going to be facing, he does the exact same mistakes. That's not a manager, that's an idiot.
Again, I think it's because the owners don't want to put money into Fulham, really, because they're too busy with the Jackson Tigers and All Elite Wrestling.
Personally, I kind of think that they do want to put money in, but I said this last week as well, that I personally think it's not because they don't want to spend money. It's because whoever is in charge of transfers, because it definitely is not Scott Parker with the way that they're signing people. There's no transfer strategy behind their signings. It's just who can I throw money at? Who's transfer listed or who's on the loan list? They go up from talent first and just go down the list, just sign whoever's there. There's no strategy about who fits into your style of play or anything. It's just who's available by them. It just doesn't make any sense. That's my personal opinion of it. It doesn't. You don't think if I looked at that Fulham team when they're a route 1 style of play, they belt the ball towards Mitrovic, he just heads it down to whoever's there. They brought Ademola Lookman in. When has Lookman ever played a 1 route style of play? He's very much like a tiki-taka kind of player, and they're playing him in a basic English style of play.
What's the
Although, to be fair, Lookman is one of the few positives.
He is, but he's being made to adapt to a style that does not suit him. Next game, because that's boring as hell. Another boring game. Man United, Chelsea, 0-0.
Oh man, I fell asleep. I don't want anyone having to go How are you going to spend that much money, man? How are you going to spend 150 million, 200 million on COVID, pandemic, summer, and you basically got a B-Tech Danny Welbeck and a B-Tech Jordan Henderson? Come on, man. don't give me this stuff about Fat Frank. Fat Frank didn't want to lose 4-0 again. That's why he parked 50 men behind the bus, cemented the goal, and then he had like a mutated freaking goal. Like, what the hell is this all about?
To be fair, Mendy did pull off some brilliant saves.
Mendy doesn't like kids. He doesn't want to feed the children. He doesn't like starving children. He's a very bad man. Very bad man.
Someone's salty. They got a draw.
I'm not even salty about the draw. I tell you what I'm salty about in all seriousness. It's not even about the draw in it. I'm like, it is what it is, a draw. But it's the fact that like people were like, oh, Ollie could have done so much more. I'm thinking, nah, dude. The amount of people they put under, like, even in the 4-0 game, right? Even in the 4-0 game where we won 4-0, Chelsea actually looked like a better team. Like, they looked like the better team. It should have been 4-0. It should have been at least like 3-2, 2-1. I don't know. Maybe even Chelsea might have beaten us. In this game, I can actually say United played better in it. United played the better possession. They were better in tackling. Apart from the Maguire bit where he thought he was the Undertaker and decided to choke slam someone.
that was a pen. That was a pen.
Another
VAR
mistake.
missed
that.
It was a joke, you know. I don't think it was even VAR at this point. I think at this point, it's just whoever's behind the issues, isn't it? Like, VAR is saying it's like almost like a software issue. Oh, the machines are broken. Like, I always think when I think of VAR, I think of like the was it Sheffield United versus Aston Villa game where the goal line wasn't working? That's what I think when we say, VAR wasn't working. I feel like, you know, they're talking about a technological issue. I don't think it's a technological issue anymore. It's an idiot behind the screens. Yeah.
I've always thought that. I'm not blaming the actual technology because I back VAR 100%. It's just the absolute numbnuts they've got working the technology. They're just so thick. Like, us three could do a better job than them.
To be fair, United would have 100% more penalties.
Well, we actually understand the rules on like English refs.
Oh yeah. Next game we've got Liverpool versus Sheffield United.
I like to think, right, that what happened last week was a VAR official heard your rant. They heard your rant and was like, well, hold on. Let's screw this guy over again.
Oh, don't do that to me.
That's what I think happened. Because I've never met someone who gets hated as much as you guys when it comes to VAR.
I know. Back-to-back week. That happens. Firstly, they take a penalty away from us, and now they're giving a penalty to someone when it wasn't even in the box. I think Liverpool had a good resolve to get back from a decision like that. I think a decision that goes against you when it clearly, number one, it wasn't even a foul, he won the ball. Number two, it wasn't in the box. If a decision goes against you this often, as it has been against us, you can kind of forgive a team from like crumbling, but we had the resolve to recollect ourselves and get past that Sheffield United wall and win 2-1. You look at it on paper and you think, how have Liverpool only just scraped past Sheffield? But I see that as one of our best wins this season.
Ramsdale's a bad keeper. I'll keep up this agenda until he's gone.
Oh, he is. He's an awful keeper. He is absolutely awful.
Trent nearly chipped him from halfway line.
He did, yeah.
That's just embarrassing, man. Like that's really embarrassing. Like, really embarrassing. Like, bad.
Sheffield's defending.
It's not good, is it?
Sheffield's defending on both goals. Like, both Mane and then Jota were just able to stand in the middle of both centre-backs and just go, yeah, I'll head of that, thanks.
One VAR decision they got perfectly right was the Mohamed Salah goal. He was offside.
You think?
It's very obvious that he was offside. Yes. But that finish was sublime. And that pass from Trent to get him in as well was just perfect. Such a nice goal.
Yeah.
That game was a potential banana peel, and we got past it pretty well. Next game, this time, Adam cannot be up his arse for scoring goals, but getting assists. Danny Ings, Southampton 2, Everton 0.
Danny Ings.
I do have to say though, I think VAR tried to fix a mistake they made last week with Pickford and just sent off Digne for no reason because that wasn't a red.
That's what Ancelotti said, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's only suspended for 1 game now.
I know, but it's not a red.
No, it's not. But it's also really funny.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like Adam's done those
tackles
to us, man.
Yeah, he smashed up your knee when he did that to you.
The North remembers.
From the Midlands, you dick.
The Midlands remembers.
James Ward-Prowse again.
I'm so
I think
he's come back.
He's so good, isn't he?
Yeah.
I think he's brilliant. He's young, versatile, and exactly what England need. Shame that Gareth Southgate's going to completely overlook him as he does every other good player that we have.
Gotta get Eric Dyer in the team.
Fucking slaphead FC. I'll score 1 pen as my only good thing I've done for this team ever. And everyone licks his ass.
Mason Mount, boy.
Oh. But Southampton.
Well played by Southampton.
Yeah. If you haven't seen my video about the resurgence of Southampton, check it out on my channel. I spoke about how they've gone from 9-0 to was it 5th? They're 5th now or 6th? But yeah, they've done quite well, and
they are
very clear that they've done very well by beating Everton.
7th.
Wow.
I meant last
7th in the Premier League.
Yeah, they are now, but I meant like, it was based on last game week. So.
The panic is like, based on last week. Don't make me look like an idiot. I would like to report that.
It's fine. It's his channel. He can just edit it out.
Wolves 1, Newcastle 1.
I'm just surprised Newcastle.
This was a bit of a boring game, to be honest.
It just left it so late to score a goal, didn't they?
I like to say Newcastle are just one of those teams, isn't it? Like they're there to exist. I tell you what, man. I don't know why. I feel really bad about Newcastle, but everyone goes to me, Newcastle always play like they have like 20 away games like everybody else, whatever. Nah, man. I guarantee you, even though they're away this time, they were home. There's something about Newcastle. I'm convinced they play every game is a home game. I'm sorry.
Why are you convinced?
Man, I just know it's the truth.
Crying out loud.
You know Wolverhampton's nowhere near Newcastle upon Tyne, right? Quite far away from each other.
Hey, can I have powers to kick Adam?
No. I'll kick you, pal.
Please don't, Daddy. Don't want to be kicked, man. Oh,
it's
God.
football, though. You're the ball.
Oh.
We've only got 3 games left, but the next game is Leicester 1, Arsenal 0.
Who's Leicester? And
Jamie
what does
Vardy
he
is
want?
Leicester.
I mean, yeah, Jamie Vardy is Leicester, man. All joking aside, he has some weird superpowers.
When he leaves, Leicester are gone.
Mid-table. Mid-table.
Leicester are getting relegated, man.
Theory, Vardy is Benjamin Button.
Yeah.
Or he ages.
You know what he does? He reminds me a bit of like Robin, isn't it? They got better towards the end of their careers than they did. Yeah, so weird.
Yeah,
weird.
It's what happens when you come from non-league football. You just have that fitness.
But where's Adams?
I'm a goalkeeper. We don't need it. We just jump. That's all we do. And I'm 5'10", so we just chip me anyway.
That guy? There was a guy against Arsenal, weren't it? That guy who just like ate the pies or some shit.
Oh yeah, Wayne. I can't remember his last name. It was Wayne something. He put a bet on it. Like he got fined for it, and he got sacked from the club.
Wayne Shaw or something. I think it was.
What a lad!
He put a bet on it, like him eating. Apparently, there was a bet for him eating a pasty, but yet he ate a pie. So it's technically not a pasty, but yet they fined him and sacked him anyway, even though he didn't win the bet.
Poor bloke.
It doesn't make any sense. There was like a massive
petition
to get him back in as well.
No, you got screwed over, man.
Oh,
He gets screwed over, yeah, 100%. Yeah, with Vardy's goal, Cengiz under the news signing, he got the assist for it. Arsenal will be a little bit aggrieved for the first goal because Lacazette's goal was apparently ruled offside or ruled out for VAR when it shouldn't have been. I didn't see it, but that was apparently another VAR scam.
I think it was the right decision myself.
You think?
Looking at it, yeah.
But
it was a bit of a boring game. This was.
Just give us a rundown of the Lacazette goal. Like, what was it that the goal got ruled out for?
Right, my old man memory's got to work here. Watched it like 2 hours ago, and I'm already forgetting. I think it was like a knee or something was offside, if I remember right.
Okay, better than an armpit.
Yeah, it was still close, but it was offside.
Got to laugh at Aubameyang.
I'm going to have Arsenal just screaming at me.
Yeah, I mentioned this last episode, didn't I, Alex? He is Ozil. He is Ozil.
He's turning in. He's
Except I don't see him offering money.
Did anybody see Ozil's agent's comments about Arsenal?
Go on.
Oh, they're brutal, man. They're saying, how can you expect class from a club that made 55 people redundant in the coronavirus pandemic and got rid of their club mascot and only then to buy their club record fee or something?
Yeah.
It's pretty brutal.
Oof.
Great.
He's true, though.
He is spitting facts.
The owners of Arsenal are just awful. Was it
Arsenal or Tony
Conky or
Pulis,
something?
man. Mikel Arteta's Tony Pulis with a wig and some ASOS material.
All right, so the next game that we played yesterday was Brighton 1, West Brom 1.
I just get bored of West Brom games. Honestly, West Brom can play the most fantastic football. They could look like 1970s Brazil, and I still wouldn't bother watching.
It is West Brom. It just you look at West Brom and you think Tony Pulis.
That's what I think of Arsenal right now.
Oh yeah, they're boring as well. At least they won't get relegated.
True. Well, one can hope.
One can hope, yes. I mean, I also hope United get relegated.
Straight away. Straight up. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know.
I didn't bother. It's West Brom. They don't play very particularly interesting football.
No, I think after it was like two. It must have been like last week. I just gave up watching their games because I was like, dude, there's something about football where, and also this is something about Brighton. How are Brighton always feared as an attacking team? Right, this is what annoys me in it. Everyone goes, "Oh, Brighton's this really attacking team," yet they're the most non-threatening attacking team I've ever heard of.
Yep, a lot of their goals don't even come from their own players. It's just own goals.
Like, don't get me wrong. Yeah. I did think we would see them struggle a little bit with Dunk being out of action, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, and it.
Yeah.
They've still got a decent defense with Ben White and so on. I mean, is it Lamptey? What was his name?
Lamptey. Tarek Lamptey.
Yeah, they've got a decent squad, isn't it? And
they do, yeah.
We've got to see how it goes.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I think Brighton are an exciting team to watch because I think personally Graham Potter does play a decent style of football. I just think for his style of football to be as effective as he wants it to be, he needs better players up front because more pay is good, but that's all they've got. Not got anyone else. Like they're using Leandro Trossard as like a utility man just behind the striker. He kind of works. But then they've got a Solly March, who I think is a pretty good attacking player, and they're using him left wing back, and it just doesn't work. Like it's putting their defense in jeopardy by using an attacker as a wing back. Like it doesn't work for me. Not my personal cup of tea.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Alex had an opinion on this one. This is the last game of the week. There's the fact that every single time Tottenham play Burnley, Son Heung-min always seems to score.
I did actually say that. Yeah. I did as well. Yeah, no, I said that right before, didn't I? I said, well, I honestly think like Burnley and Spurs, they seem to play each other like 20 times a season.
Oh, yeah.
and Son always seems to get a goal.
yeah.
But I have to admit, Harry Kane and Son, as much as it pains me, they are absolutely phenomenal together,
They
and
really are.
probably the best duo in the league,
They are
if
working
not
well
the best
together.
duo in the world.
Yes.
Like, they are absolutely phenomenal. I don't know what Harry Kane's been taking, but he's been smoking some sort of Paul Scholes, Steven Gerrard, Frank Lampard drink, and he's become an absolute phenomenon.
He has.
And Son, I mean, Son's always been good, but this season, I honestly think Son's a contender for Player of the Season already. He is absolutely phenomenal. He is exactly that Mourinho type of player that Mourinho loves to thrive on. That the fast, pacey wingers who can cut in, get into positions. And what I like about Son is not everything has to be really complicated with Son either. Like Son can sometimes just score the tap in, and sometimes Son can score the occasional banger. But I just a crazy amount of ability between those two and understanding, and obviously years and years of partnership. This is what's happened, and obviously when you have a mind like Mourinho's where he thrives on connecting, fair play.
I personally think this season, Player of the Year is going to be Son. In my personal opinion, it's between Son and Kane at the moment, but I think Son is just going to edge it. Young Player of the Season, I kind of want to stick to my normal, as my original option. That was Tarek Lamptey, but I'm not entirely sure anymore. I think
I'm not either.
Young Player of the Season would probably be Dominic Calvert-Lewin. He still does qualify because he's not 24 years old yet. So he qualifies. I think he'll be Young Player of the Season, and then Son Heung-min will be Player of the Season. I think I had Mason Greenwood, but with
I think everything going on and Greenwood not even playing at the moment, it's just wow.
And I think Manager of the Year is going to be Ancelotti by getting Everton to like 5th or 4th. Someone in that top 4 is going to drop out. I don't know who. At least 2 teams in the top 6 are also going to drop out, in my personal opinion. I just don't think. I think that that gap that has been between 6th and 7th in terms of finance. How big that gap was years and years and years ago. It's slowly starting to seal. There's not that gap anymore. I like it. I'm liking it loads. It used to be so boring.
That's why Liverpool, Man United want out of the league.
It is, yeah, because they want to win all the time. This whole European Super League thing, I don't like it because there's no like promotion or
it's awful
relegation in it at all.
They're trying to make it.
Go on.
They're trying to make it like American football and Major League Baseball and the MLS.
Yeah, I mean,
we're not an American sport.
Yeah, my opinion as well. If you're playing in this European Super League, as it were, and you're touring the world, going to different places to play your team. If you're Liverpool and you play in Miami, Milan, and Paris, Moscow, all these places, you're not Liverpool anymore because you're not tied to one place. You're just everywhere. You're not Liverpool.
Yeah.
Same with Man United, same with Madrid, same with Barcelona. You're just a thing. You're a club, but you're not a
combination of effort to there's no identity or culture there.
Yeah, it's not my thing. Yeah. Before we end, can I just ask you guys who you think is going to finish top 4? Most notably, who do you think is going to win the league?
I still got money on Liverpool winning the league. I just think they'll do it. I think it's going to be Liverpool. I think we're going to see Spurs
in second place.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it'll be Liverpool, Spurs, Everton, United.
Man City to drop out. Okay.
Yeah, I think what will happen is their run of form is going to continue, unfortunately, until De Bruyne gets back. And by that point, I think they're just going to get rid of Pep and it's going to cause a whole reboot.
Pep's last season with his club always goes wrong.
Yeah, I think that's what we're going to see. If not, we might have a mid-table breakdown of Jose where he might completely implode. It's really hard to tell. I mean, it's hard to tell. It depends on what happens a lot in the January transfer market. A lot of people ruled out United, and then they signed Bruno Fernandes and ended up getting in there. It just really depends. 6 games. I mean, 5 if United and City. It's hard to tell, man. It really is. You never know what you're going to get.
Yeah. Adam, who's your top 4?
I think Liverpool will win the league.
Okay.
Because I think they just seem to be the better team so far this season. Then I think Man City will come second. I think there's too much talent in that squad to not finish in the top 2. Then I think Everton will get third. And I think Chelsea will get 4th. I think Man United is going to just drop out. I think they'll be 5th.
I think if
It'll
they
be
go
quite
5th,
close.
we will see Ole Gunnar be sacked.
I think so too. Because
yes,
now you're back in Champions League football, you want to stay there.
Yeah.
Going into Europa League would be going backwards.
Yeah. For me, this is like an
nothing for the Glazers,
update.
isn't it?
This is like an update for my Premier League table predictions. Because let's be honest, whoever does a Premier League prediction at the beginning of the season is never, ever, ever right. Because teams overperform, teams underperform. It's just the way it is.
Challenge accepted. I want to come back to this clip next year when I get all of them right.
What, your top 4? It's not happening. Because City aren't going to be...
Who's laughing at me? I heard laughing in the background.
I heard a laugh as well. I'm not sure who it was. Probably on Adam's end.
I think it was my mother.
She
Oh,
thinks
my
your
joke
opinion's
wasn't that
trash.
bad, man.
Your opinion's
She
trash.
didn't even hear you, and she thought it was that funny.
United trash. All right, for me,
Right, well, I'm leaving. Goodbye.
my picks would be Liverpool to win the league. Of course, I'm going to back my team to win the league. Second place, Man City. Just like Adam, I think there's a little bit too much quality there. I know I shaft them quite a lot, but I think the gap between second and third is going to be a lot slimmer this season. Spurs are going to finish third. I think third and second is probably going to go down to the wire between Spurs and City, so it could end either way. Fourth, I think it's going to be Chelsea, and I think Everton are just going to miss out on top 4. But I think Europa League is still good enough for
Very
Everton.
good.
They've not been in
Considering
European
where they
football
were
for a long
last
time.
season.
Exactly, they've not been European football for so long. But he's in transition. Carlo is. So you can't expect results straight away. And if Everton fans are going to call for his head if he finishes 5th, then football is by all means corrupt. I know they won't.
They won't. Everton have waited so long for a team that's good. They're willing to wait.
Yeah,
An extra season.
yeah. But anyway, that marks the end of the Ball Boys. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell notification to be notified whenever I upload, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.
Peace.